I am Taryn Knoll with Twist Mesquite Performance Horses. Our mission is to create a world-class 2-year-old program that is focusing on the rein cow horse. Today we are doing a review with Cairo, they call him. He's a nice little gelding that came to us. He had something somewhere 12, 13 rides on him. They're inconsistent rides, but the owner's done a good job with him. He's been really easy to get around and a very willing attitude, very soft demeanor, and he's been a lot of fun to get started with. So we've gone through and just our groundwork program going up to the first ride. We reviewed a bunch of that last Friday. They come in Thursday, so we reviewed it Friday and then Monday as well. And then got on him Monday, rode him, he did great. And then took him out here in this big arena yesterday, rode him around, he did awesome. And then again today. So we just kind of want to review what we're doing with him this week. We get him in this big arena. What are the basics that we're wanting to make sure that are here? Like I said, the owner that had him, the guy that started him for the first few rides, he's done a really good job with him. And so we're just kind of reviewing some of that stuff, making sure that this horse understands those basics, and then advancing from there. So, like all of these, this is the first day I have them in this hackamore, but I want to just flex them side to side as soon as I get on them. Make sure that they're wanting to get soft. This side's a little stiffer, but it'll get better. It'll get better as we go. And here in a few rides, I'll get them in a snaffle, and they get kind of confused where the pull comes from on this hackamore a little bit, but we like to put a few rides in it. It's a nice step up from the halter. So I just kind of warmed him up a little bit today, just kind of reviewed a little bit of groundwork with him, but not much. I mean, as we go for the first couple weeks or so, I'll probably do some groundwork and then get on him as we just get that groundwork better. But he'll trot around, he'll walk, trot, and lope around this arena pretty free. And so the next thing we work on is just getting them to follow this fence all the way around. If they're boogery about any of this stuff, I want to be able to get that out of them, so that we can have the whole arena to work. And so, wherever he's kind of concerned about, we'll go and rest right there as I'm working him in this arena. And then where he's drawn to, we'll make sure that we don't stop there, and just making sure that I want to get him listening to me as I'm riding him, so he's not sitting there boogery about this place over here, or overly drawn to this spot over here. We kind of get all those spots out of him as we're working him, to where he's just paying attention to me and paying attention to what I'm asking him to do. But one of the first things we work on is just getting them to follow this fence. At this point, that's what we're going to work on, just getting him to stay on this fence. And I want him to stay at this trot and keep flowing around. And we just stay at a good gait. Well, he's controlling himself. I'm not holding him back, and I'm not pedaling pedaling them either. Like I want him to take control of his feet, where he's boogering about this camera and this setup a little bit, and that's all right. We just but I want him to stay moving, get back on this fence, and just keep flowing around. This horse has a lot of travel. He's very good with his feet, very good with his body, very light-footed. I really like how this horse travels. I mean, you could sit on this horse all day long and just trot along, just trot and lope along. It's just just a really nice horse. I know he's a good ranch bred horse, Rockin' W. I believe he's out of a Rockin' W stud or a Rockin' W mare. And but he's very good natured. But he'll get up and move when you ask him to. Might just one rein stop right here and let him rest right here, since he is kind of boogering about it, and go back the other way. But I really like this big arena where we can get on this fence line and just travel. If you out there on the ranch or had a big cow pasture, you could do the same thing, where you just travel that fence line. Gives them something to look at, gives them something to kind of draw to, where you're not having to sit there and oversteer them, worry them about steering them too much, and you can just get out and travel and just work on that walk, trot, and lope, and just get them comfortable with that. But he's very soft. He's very soft in your hands and wants to be soft. And that was important to his owner, to have a soft handle on this horse. And he's done a good job starting that, and so we're just going to continue bringing that along, making sure we can get all the different body parts, get control of all the different body parts, and to where he's soft, you get good control of that body, and their head and neck gets lower, and their head and neck is softer as a consequence. Of course, we do work on, like I said, we work on flexing and vertical and lateral flexion, but we do a lot of soft, getting that body soft. We'll just work on, steering across and working on these straight lines, making sure he'll travel out straight, staying at this good pace and this good trot. Like I said, this horse is going to travel really well. I mean, he's very smooth, very good with his feet, has a very soft, smooth ride to him. Doesn't take much to get this horse to respond or to do what you want him to do. He's very soft. He's a lot like these two reining bred colts we have, where they're just very soft in your hands and very willing. Makes for a very enjoyable time training nice horses like these. But it seems like, you know, the more horses we get in our barn, we get a lot of really nice, well-bred, you know, these well-bred horses. People have done a really good job with breeding that trainability into them, and it makes the job as a trainer a lot easier, you know, to where you can get that foundation on them quicker, and they just progress through your whole program. I mean, and you see horses that are going on and winning 800 or more thousand in the, he worried about that rope and dummy a little bit right there. Just gonna take him back over here and let him rest right here. So we're playing a little bit of a mind game with him. I want to rest where we're at with them, where they worry about, and where they're drawn to. I want to keep moving their feet right there. But as I was saying, these horses that are very well bred, they're trainable. That these horses that have a lot of try, they have a lot of want to, a lot of desire to get along, and they're interested in what you're wanting to do. Those horses make the whole training process go a lot quicker. That horse has a lot higher chance of making a highly successful horse, just because that horse wants to get up out of bed in the mornings, get out of that stall in the mornings, and get after it. And it's no different with people. There are some people that, no matter how much convincing or how many words you throw at them, they just don't want to. And it's a big difference between somebody. I was listening to an interview with Buster Welch, and they asked him and said, what's the biggest, you know, on all the superstar horses that you've trained, what is the biggest thing that all those horses had in common? And he said it's that I will attitude. I will do it. I want to. And in people, that's a big thing as well. It's that desire that I will do this no matter what somebody says, no matter who tries to get in the way, I will do it. And then there's no excuses. And these horses that have that attitude, you can put them in a bind, maybe from your lack of knowledge or lack of understanding, and those horses will still try to figure it out, because they just want to. They want to figure out what you're wanting them to do. They want to be a part of what you're wanting them to do. And it makes all the difference in the world. You know, that's why we've been, you know, these horses here that we've gotten recently, a lot of them they've had that attitude, that I will, that try. They, you know, and so we've been able to flow through our program with them really quickly, because they want to be a part of what we're doing. And it's, like I said, it's made things go really well, and it's makes you very thankful for how far our training programs have come, but our breeding programs, you know, you just hear stories of those old horses that come off the range, and those horses just didn't want anything to do with you. They didn't have any try in them at all. And you hear those stories, those old cowboys breaking those horses. It's a whole different type of horse we have now. And that's why they sell for what they sell, and they've been able to win. People have been able to win so much on them. It just really is a really nice, neat deal to be a part of. Right now, I'm not concerned about what lead he's in. We will work on that as we go. But right now, I want him steering. Right now, I want him to go down this fence line, just free. And just lope around and pick his feet up and just travel. Figure out where his feet are. Some of this sand is pretty deep, so they have to figure out how to carry themselves. They have to not be worried about running off and doing all this silly stuff. And they figure out how to just lope around here. And we'll probably spend a few days with him, just letting him loping around here. Let him get comfortable with it, where he doesn't stop unless I ask him. Over here, he's wanting to draw to these horses and stop over here. We just keep him moving his feet. And on the other side of the arena, he doesn't want to stay on the fence line because he's drawing back over those horses. But we'll just he's starting to he's got to figure out how to carry himself and keep moving his feet forward and his hip up underneath him to where he's wanting to stop and slow down, and he's putting all his weight on his front end and not picking his feet up. And that's where some of this comes in, just loping them out. They got to figure out how to travel. I said some of this sand is deep. They have to figure out how to travel in it. We'll let him rest over here again. He is a pretty naturally leaded horse. Like he'll figure out pretty quick about those leads. and which lead to get into on his own pretty naturally. But a lot of that's in his mind too. You know, where is his mind going? Where is that shoulder falling into? Where is he drawing into? You know, is he with you, or is he drawing over into, you know, the horses? So he's drawing over there, and so his body's all out of whack, and he picks up the wrong lead. Like I said, we're not, see right now, I just want him traveling around here and taking care of his own feet. Can't do nothing else if he don't pick his feet up and travel around here. But some of it's just getting a little better condition. We got him on some really good feed, and he's getting worked consistently. He'll put that muscle on, figure out where to put his feet. We're gonna spend a couple more days with him. We're gonna be working on, of course, this flexing here, where he'll disengage that hip off of the heel of my boot, and just traveling, just loping around on a nice loose rein, following that fence line. And then we'll work on the same, just steering him. I'm gonna steer him across this, and I want him to do it willingly. I want him to lope around here, get to this corner, and steer back to the other corner willingly. And then as we get there, and we don't ever stop and break gait unless we ask him to. And so all this stuff is just going to work on that forward motion, making sure he's staying with that forward motion, steering right to left without breaking that gait. And we'll build on that. But that's what we're going to be working on the next few days here. You know, he's doing really well. You know, kind of finding where he's not so sure about, finding some of those places and working on them and just progressing him. But he's, like I said, he's a very willing horse. He's progressing very well. He hasn't tried to buck or do anything silly. He's been doing very well. So I'll let him kind of walk around on this fence line and cool off, and that'll be our update for him today. We'll catch you on the next one.